Yeah, so make sure you guys head over to howardstern.com. All the info you need to be a part of this experience is there. Let's get back to the phones, 833-783-7674. Andy Richter is here with us. Let's give him a little love. Dan out here in Cali. What's up, Dan?
Oh, man. Hey, what's up, Rashawn? Gary.
Good morning.
Good morning. Excited that summer school's back. Hi, Andy. Andy, I just wanted to mark out to you for a little bit. You're an amazing actor, amazing comedian. I wanted to see if you had any stories you could share about Arrested Development. You absolutely killed it on those multiple roles.
Thank you. Yeah. When you said Arrested, I almost thought, because you said mark out, I thought you were going to say wrestling, because I have stories about wrestling too. Arrested Development, I was doing a show called Quintuplets at the time that Arrested Development was doing their first season. And Quintuplets, I was just an actor in. I didn't have like a lot of creative input into that show. And so it was kind of, and it was kind of dopey, like kind of slightly raunchy Fox family comedy, kind of fairly
zany?
Typical. Nice
was it
people.
zany?
Well, it was always just like, it was all like all the kids were just, it was all just like slightly dirty all the time, which I got nothing against filth, but it just was like, it wasn't always quality filth. And, and I would go over to Arrested Development. And I also, too, I'd had my own show. I'd had Andy Richter Controls the Universe, which kind of, it was like 2 mid-season seasons, and it never got kind of the love that I felt like it deserved. So I was over there, and I used to go over to Arrested Development because I was friends with couple of the writers, and then I got to know Mitch Hurwitz, and I was friends with Will Arnett, who was married to Amy Poehler at the time, or maybe even just engaged to her, and I'd known Amy for a million years. And I would just go over there and just whine about, like, why can't I be on a show like this? Why am I on this other show? And they threw me in one episode, like just playing myself, in which, of course, I had to, like, have a sandwich that I got mad and threw on the ground, which I'm like, okay, I know how to do that. Then they had me come back, and I was playing quintuplets in the show because I was in a show, quintuplets, that I wasn't crazy about being in. So it's like that. If you are beloved by the makers of Arrested Development, that means you are going to get shit on a little bit.
Yeah.
And if you watch that show, everybody that ever played themselves in that show, the main point is that they are a loser. It's like me, Andy Richter, the Andy Richter on Arrested Development is a fucking loser.
Yeah.
And, and I did a bunch of scenes in the later one with Carl Weathers, and I'm used to being shit on by my friends, I'm in the shit on each other business. But Carl Weathers, like, all his scenes were like people like Ron Howard going like, oh, look, it's Cuba Gooding Jr. Oh, no, wait, it's just Carl Weathers. And being disappointed that Carl Weathers is Carl Weathers. And I said to him, like, which RIP, I mean, it was sad to hear that he passed because he was so much fun. But I said, like, are you okay with kind of getting shit on repeatedly all day? And he's like, it's weird. He's like, yeah, it doesn't feel great. But that show, I was very proud to be a part of that show, although it was one of the most insane, like, just always trying to fit 50 pounds into a 20-pound bag in terms of scheduling and stuff. It was always out of control. And especially in the later ones, I would come and I'd be like, I have these lines where I'm making references to something. I have no idea what I'm talking about. And all the regulars were like, we'll get used to it. Like, we're constantly doing scenes where we're talking about, like, well, what happened down at the marina was out of control. And they're like, I don't know what that is. Just so there were so many plot lines and so many jokes. And there was, it was the problem of having enough ideas for 10 other shows crammed into one show. That it was but it was really fun. And everyone felt lucky to be there, but stressed to be there too.
I mean, I know that show is iconic and people love it. I'm curious, how did the people from Quintuplets feel that you were on another show mocking the show Quintuplets.
Never talked to him about it. Never, ever mentioned it. Didn't ever have a conversation with anyone about it. I'm not even sure if it probably registered that it was, because it was ultimately a smack against me. You know, it was like me picking on me for feeling bad about something, which, you know, okay, there's people out there, boo-hoo, you were on a network television show. Yeah, sure, right. I'm a bitch. What do you want? You know, you give me a good situation, I'll find something to complain about. But yeah, I don't think they even it ever registered. And Arrested was like, it was, you know, like they won an Emmy, and there was a big banner across the entrance to Fox Studios. It was like, congratulations, Arrested Development, on your Emmy. And then that night was, because I think, I want to say it aired on Monday nights. It aired that night, and the ratings were so shitty that banner was down the next day. They gave him one day of congratulations on your Emmy, and then the banner was gone.
Oh, so funny. You see those all over Los Angeles, like the For Your Consideration billboards. They're all over the city. Let's go to the phones. 833-783-7674. Andy Richter's here